As the war in Ukraine rages on, President Volodymyr Zelensky is on a crucial mission to the U.S. His visit comes at a time when Ukrainian forces are facing relentless Russian attacks, pushing the country to the brink. Zelensky's message is clear: Ukraine needs more support to force Russia into peace.
As the Russian forces continue their relentless assault, overwhelming Ukrainian defenses, in Kharkiv, the aftermath of Russian glide bombs is evident. Part of a 9-story apartment building has been torn apart, with windows shattered and debris littering the streets.
The thing is, it's impossible to live here anyway. Everything is broken. There is no water, no gas. Everything is turned off. The water riser is broken. Everything is leaking down the walls of the 3-room apartment. How do you live if there are no windows and with winter incoming?
Kherson has also been hit hard, with guided bombs destroying a cultural center, causing severe damage and triggering a fire. Repurposing old heavy bombs with satellite-guided airframes. The Russian military is now capable of launching 500-kilogram bombs from as far as 70 kilometers away. This tactic has devastated Ukrainian cities, pushing air defenses to their limits and inflicting significant civilian casualties. Russian troops have reportedly captured 2 more villages in eastern Ukraine, adding to their string of territorial gains. In Vuhledar, fierce battles rage on as Russian forces push further south in the Donetsk region. The Ukrainian forces also have something to cheer. They managed to secure a small victory in Kharkiv, capturing an aggregate plant in the town of Vovchansk. The scene is one of utter devastation, with every structure and window shattered, highlighting the relentless toll the conflict is taking. As outnumbered Ukrainian forces face grinding battles against one of the world's most powerful armies, President Zelensky is pitching his so-called victory plan to Biden administration. Zelensky is pushing for more than just weapons. He's calling for a strategic shift. He wants the US to greenlight strikes on Russian territory, a move President Putin has warned could provoke a massive escalation. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
Let's now talk about Zelensky's visit to the United States. Our correspondent Susan Tehran is now joining us live from New York. Hi, Susan. We do understand that the president did meet US President Joe Biden before he gave his speech at the United Nations General Assembly. We also expect Zelensky to present his so-called victory plan to Vice President Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Do we know if he has indeed presented the plan to both Harris and Trump?
His plan has not been presented yet, and we don't know the details of this plan as of yet. It should probably contain something like Ukraine needs more weapons to fend off Russian aggression, and also perhaps Russia going back to pre-invasion territories. Many are skeptical about this plan, but we won't know until we know the details of it. Meanwhile, it's also important to note that while Zelensky is campaigning, of course, for his country as he should, the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov met with his Chinese counterpart on the sidelines of the UNGA as well. There's a picture of them shaking hands in good spirit.
Well, Susan, do we also know what Zelensky mentioned at the United Nations General Assembly? Because it was a pretty long speech that he gave to the United Nations General Assembly, and we also understand that he's expected to speak to other US officials. Do we know more about that?
Yeah, I mean, he's been making the rounds here in the United States. His trip started in the U.S. state of Pennsylvania, in the town of Scranton, where he got a set of ammunitions and weapons. But also, he's expected to meet other leaders here as he's visiting in the United States. One of the most important things that he mentioned during that speech was that Russia is preparing to attack Ukrainian nuclear sites. Now, this is something that's, of course, going to be the topic of discussion as he meets with others. But it's also important to note that Zelensky continuously said that if people don't stand on the side of Ukraine, then there will be more aggression on the part of Russia. But then again, it's yet to be seen how valid these statements are, but it was a very important claim, at least, that he made. And it's definitely going to be on U.S. officials' minds and those that meet with Zelensky as well. And the most important pressing issue is whether or not the United States will agree for Ukraine to attack Russia with long-range missiles, and how much defense capabilities ultimately Ukraine will have. And Zelensky will get an okay from the United States leaving the United States.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. That is our correspondent, Susan Teherani, live in New York. Thanks, Susan. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.